What's up, gamers, and hello YouTube. Today's video is all about the long range TTK and the long range meta. With the season 3 reloaded update, we got a lot of buffs, a lot of nerfs, and it actually changed the way our meta is shaped up. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video because we're gonna go straight into it. Now here we have the graphs on true game data. Let's start with the Bell 27 because that's the new gun that got added to the game. And as you guys know, the first 4 shots on the Bell are slower, and then the fire rate ramps up over time, and that makes the gun shoot way faster after 4 shots. But that also means the TTK is super inconsistent because, as you can see, after 4 shots the TTK is actually pretty decent. It comes up to like the SMG meta TTK, and over range the TTK is actually really good. But the problem with the Bell right now is that inconsistency up close makes it unviable up close because you need to get those 4 shots out first before you get a good TTK. Now the second problem with the Bell is that at long range the recoil on the gun is just too heavy, too awkward. So I still have to find a good build for it, and hopefully once I found it I'll share it with you guys in a video later on. But for right now I would not touch the Bell. And let's actually look at the other gun that got nerfed really hard this season, because the SOA subverter was my favorite gun and it got nerfed pretty bad. If you look at the stats, it actually looks pretty decent still. Like after 30 meters it does have that little drop off, but the main problem with the SOA right now is that it doesn't only have that drop off that makes it super inconsistent, because you're going from 40 meters and then he moves out of 40 meters and then your TTK just ramps up. That feels super inconsistent. The main problem is the combination shots. When you hit combination shots, you see that the TTK gets added by like 100, which means that the gun feels super inconsistent as soon as you miss your shots, as soon as you hit a arm, as soon as you hit a leg, lower torso shot, and that at long range is gonna happen. So for me, the SOA subverter kind of fell off. It's still really good to use. Definitely don't be afraid to try it out. But for me, it's no longer the meta. It's no longer my top tier gun. But let's head over to the guns that I do think are top tier. As you can see here, I've got a lot of names here, but let's start with the most broken TTK gun, and that is the Rap Age. Technically the BP50 kills faster. I just don't like the BP50 at range because of the max size and the fire rate. It just feels really inconsistent. Talking about fire rate, the fire rate on the Rap Age is also really fast, so you have to reload quite a lot. So that's why it's probably not my favorite one to use, but it's definitely up there in terms of like super good TTKs, so I have to include it on the list. Then the MTC 556 does really well. As you can see, the Tempest Razorback does pretty well. The STB, something that people didn't know, I think. The STB, especially if you hit combination shots, the STB is pretty good. It's basically the MTZ. It's just the way you look at it. It's either slightly better or slightly worse than the MTZ. Then the M16 is really good up to 48 meters, and then it falls off hard. But then when it falls off hard, I mean, it's still really viable. It's not bad at all. It just isn't as broken as it would be at 48 meters. And then for the LMGs, the DG LSW, really good, really consistent. The Hogger 26, also really good, really consistent. And then the BASB, also really good. And the Hogger 556, also really good. So these are my favorite guns. Now I'm gonna show you guys the top 10 right now with the #1 gun. And I'm also gonna show you guys something really interesting that I found while playing the game, and it actually made me think that this gun was way better than it looks right now. One of these guns is actually kind of broken, kind of insane, but it doesn't look it if you look at it right now. Now, if you've made it this far into the video, consider liking, commenting, and subscribing because that will help me out a lot. And I also post every single day, so whenever there's a change in the meta, whenever there's something broken in the game, I'll be the first to post it over here on YouTube. So definitely consider subscribing. Why not? It's free. It will help you out a lot. You don't have to do all the nitty-gritty work of looking at the data because I'll do it for you. And also, I stream over on Twitch, so if you want to catch the gameplay live or pick my brain about the meta, head over to the link in the bio and I'll see you guys over there. But now, number 10, we start off with the Rap Age. As I said, the fire rate is quite high, so you have to reload quite often, and it's also a Modern Warfare 2 gun, so you'll have visual recoil. That's why we use the Casus Break, the Brune Heavy, and the Jack Glassless. That helps with your visual recoil as well as your regular recoil, and that makes this gun way more easy to use. Then we use the Romeo Barrel as well as High Grain to make it a beam at range with the bullet velocity. As you can see, it sits at 1000 meters per second, which is really good in Modern Warfare 3, but in Warzone 1 that would have been actually quite terrible. So how times have changed. But as you can see, it shoots pretty straightforward. You do have to control the recoil a little bit at range, but it's pretty easy to do. And the most important thing is you do run out of bullets quite easily. Like as you can see, the reload is quite long, so that's why it is my number 10 gun and not higher up in the list, because the TTK is actually insane on the gun. It's just that fire rate makes it so hard to use, especially now with the reload bug. By the way, the reload bug, speaking of it, is not gonna get fixed until next week. So if you're playing this weekend, if you're watching this live, I'm so sorry guys, you'll have to wait another week before it's actually fixed. Raven just tweeted that out, and it's actually such a pain that that's the case. But as you can see, Auger 26 is my number 9 gun, and it's really easy to use. And it's actually disgusting. It's disgusting how easy it is to use and how fast it kills. As you can see, Sonic Suppressor, Holger Factory Barrel, the Eagle's Eye, the Ascent Lord Stock, and the Proven Heavy Support Grip. As always, take a screenshot when I show these guns, because that will make it easier for you guys to copy the loadouts. Or head down to the link below, because I have a meta builds website where I upload all my guns to. So if you guys want to catch a meta build, it's all over there. Then number 8, the DG, another LMG, and this one might actually be my favorite LMG, because look at how easy it is to use. And then look at this, almost 1400 meters per second bullet velocity. This gun is gonna feel like hit scan at all ranges. The Sonic Suppressor, Woody Long Barrel, high grain rounds, the Corio's Eagle Eye, and the reduction butt blade. Yeah, you heard me right. But yeah, that's the build. As you can see, very easy to use. Very decent TTK, especially at that long range. It feels so good to use. Then number 7, the Bass B, one of the OG guns from Modern Warfare 3, one of the first metas, and it's finally good again. It had like stints of being okay in like Fortune's Keep during season 2, but now it's finally in the top dog leagues, and it actually is so easy to use. Nothing special on the build. Sonic Suppressor, Brewing Venom Barrel, Heavy Support Grip, 45 round, and Corio Eagle's High again. Then number 6, one that might surprise you. Up to 48 meters, the M16 is actually insane. It kills so fast, and especially on Rebirth Island, this is such a fun gun, because it just brings me back to those old Rebirth days, the old AUG M16 days. As you can see, it's super easy to use even at that furthest range. But then the most important thing for me with this build is the strafe speed. The strafe speed is pretty fast. It's not crazy fast. You could make it crazy fast, but technically this would be the best build for me. The Edge hand stop, the high grain rounds, 45 round, classless optic, and the Jack cutthroat. And as you can see, this does a whopping 21% to my movement speed. It's actually insane how fast this strafes, and it's a lot of fun to use. It leaves some people wondering what happened, because you strafe so fast, and then you also are basically two bursting people. It's kind of insane. Then for number 5, we head into the assault rifles with the Auger 5.56. In the recent updates, they made the recoil way more straightforward with this gun. Makes it really easy to use. As you can see, it is a beam. We use the Cryos 6 match barrel, the VT Spirit Fire Suppressor, the high grain rounds, the 40 round mag, and then the glassless optic. This gun is a beam. It's so much fun to use, especially on Rebirth Island. Then my number 4. This is the one I thought you guys might surprise you. It's the Tempest Razorback. Again, as you can see, super straightforward recoil, and maybe you caught it on the second guy. The TTK on this gun is kind of nuts. Because if you look at the graph, the full graph, let's hide a couple guns to make it easier to see. The Tempest Razorback is sitting at a 800 TTK at 43 meters, about 1000 at 63, which is like almost 40 milliseconds slower than the MTC 5.56, and at that 43 meters, it's sitting almost 100 milliseconds slower than the MTC. But now let's factor in combination shots, and you see nothing changed. But when you factor in the headshot multiplier, this gun becomes insane. And it's so easy to hit consistent headshots with the Razorback that when I was trying it out for the first time after it got buffed, I was telling my friends like, hey, this gun might be broken. I need you guys to try it out. They tried it out and they were like, whoa, it's not super consistent, but sometimes I'm zapping people. And now I know why. It's because of the headshot multiplier. The headshot multiplier is absolutely insane on this gun. And if you use it well, as you can see, even up close, it has a disgusting TTK if you get those headshots in. And it's really, really easy to do with this gun. Now, let me show you guys the build for it. The Razorback. We use the 18-inch Tech 2L barrel. We use the Casus brake for the muzzle, the Bruin Heavy support, the high grain rounds and the 60 round. And we don't use an optic because the iron sights, quite frankly, are super clean. And as you guys can see, I'm zapping headies with this gun. It's so easy to use, so much fun to use, and it kills so fast if you do hit those headshots. This is a very high skill, high reward kind of gun, but I absolutely love it. It's been a while since the Razorback was good, and I always loved this gun, so I'm happy that they actually made it good again. Definitely grab this screenshot because this is going to be one of my favorites to use for a while. Then we have the STB, super consistent TTK, really easy to use, and I'll show you guys in the firing range right now. This gun does not have any recoil. If you're using for a Modern Warfare 2 gun to be viable, this is the one. This is the one you want to use. The STB is it. And as you can see, this is the build. Take a screenshot if you want to. Then number 2, the MTZ-556. I really like this gun. It has really good bullet velocity, high fire rate, which makes it really forgiving if you miss a shot, and it's super easy to use. It's an actual beam. And the stray speed is kind of okay on it. And if you want to, you could even take off a Bruin Heavy, throw on the Jet Cutthroat, and get an even higher stray speed. This is a lot of fun to use, and depending on how you build it out, what your preferred ranges are for fighting, this is super fun to use. There you have it, guys. Either put on the Bruin Heavy support or the Jet Cutthroat. Either way, this gun is a lot of fun. Take a screenshot if you haven't already. And then let's head over to number 1. Now for the number 1 gun, you probably already guessed it. It's the SVA. And a lot of people have been building out this gun really badly. They've been putting on all the recoil attachments they could find. And honestly, you don't need that, because you're putting it in single fire, you're getting that little burst fire, so the only thing you want to worry about is your shot connecting with the target. So you want your bullet velocity to be as high as possible, and in my opinion, this build is it. This is the favorite build that I've used so far. I've tried a lot of different builds. I didn't like the gun at first, but once I started using this build, I could not get over this gun. Now, the one thing that probably sticks out here is that I'm using the Harbinger muzzle, and that's because that does the most for my bullet velocity. It gives it a whopping 18%. Now you could also go with like a sonic suppressor that doesn't hurt your ADS speed that much, but I like the Harbinger because I really want to max out that bullet velocity. And to be honest, if you look at the ADS speed, it looks high now because of the plus 33, the 400 milliseconds. But if you think back about Warzone 1, most ARs had a slower ADS than this 400 right now shows. But to prove to you guys, let's try it out in the firing range and you'll see this gun is absolutely insane. The bullets connect immediately because of that high fire rate and then also that high bullet velocity. If you haven't already, use this gun. It's broken. It's too easy to use. Crazy TTK. So there you have it, guys. That's my top 10. If you guys have learned something new, enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe because that will help me out a lot. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.